So this time last year, Boris Johnson was trying to block the probe over whether or not he lied to Parliament. The UK had the slowest growth in the G7, there was worry over rising costs of energy, and Trump walked out on a Piers Morgan interview.
Okay, Piers, I'm ready.
A former president in denial.
I'll be completely straight with you to your face.
I think I'm a very honest man. Much more honest than you, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It was a free and fair election. You lost.
Only a fool would think
You
that.
think I'm a fool?
I do now, yeah.
With respect.
Excuse me.
Okay, but with respect,
The
you haven't
legislature.
produced the hard evidence.
Excuse me.
The most explosive interview of the
I
year.
don't think you're real. It's,
I realise
it's just
I'm not like-
very
I
dishonest.
just-
Let's finish up the interview.
Morgan versus
Turn the
Trump.
camera off. Very dishonest.
Except that he didn't.
Thank you very much.
thank you for a great interview.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate
it. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go.
That was a great interview.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
And Political Custard produced this article on Michael Fabricant, who, in trying to excuse Johnson's Partygate tangles, tried to blame teachers and nurses of breaking the rules too.
I think now the Prime Minister has got to think hard. I think he should certainly go and make a statement to the House of Commons on Tuesday. And I think he's got to apologise. Having said that, I don't think that at any time he thought that he was breaking the law. I think that at the time he thought, just like many teachers and nurses, who after a very, very long shift would tend to go back to the staff room and have a quiet drink, which is more or less what he has done.
And last week, we were treated to a grotesque spectacle. One of the Prime Minister's loyal supporters accusing teachers and nurses of drinking in the staff room during lockdown. Members opposite can associate themselves with that if they want. But those of us who take pride in our NHS workers, our teachers, and every other key worker who got us through those dark days will never forget their contempt.
Yeah.
I just wanted to pick up on something. You said all those teachers and nurses who were going back to the staff room and having a drink. You know more than I do, because I haven't heard about this.
Oh, well, I do know of some who did, and, it's quite natural. I'm not saying they were having a party. I'm not saying that Boris Johnson was having a party. But
the difficulty...
I know
Yes.
I know nurses who... and I don't think they were doing anything wrong.
Fine.
I mean, they'd worked really hard on a long shift
isn't the
and would go back to the staff room and have a drink. And I think that is more or less what has happened on a few of these occasions.
This morning, I spoke to John Robinson, a constituent of the member for Lichfield. I want to tell you his story. When his wife died of COVID, John and his family obeyed the Prime Minister's rules. He didn't see her in hospital. He didn't hold her hand as she died. Their daughters and grandchildren drove 100 miles up the motorway, clutching a letter from the funeral director in case they were questioned by the police. They didn't have a service in the church. John's son-in-law stayed away because he would have been the forbidden seventh mourner. Doesn't the Prime Minister realise that John would have given the world to hold his dying wife's hand, even if it was just for 9 minutes? But he didn't, because he followed the Prime Minister's rules.
Click here for some disgusting Tories.